Hey friends, hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about stanza number 16, 17 and 18 of the poem Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard. As these three stanzas are connected together, they're the part of the same sentence, we cannot understand them separately. We have to read them and understand them as a whole, these 12 lines. So let's read them together and try to understand them together. See 16, 17 and 18. The applause of listening senates to command, the threats of pain and ruin to despise, to scatter plenty over a smiling land, and read their history in a nation's eyes. Their lot forbade. Nor circumscribed alone their growing virtues, but their crimes confined, forbade to wade through slaughter to a throne, and shut the gates of mercy on mankind. The struggling pangs of conscious truth to hide, to quench the blushes of ingenious shame, or heap the shrine of luxury and pride with incense kindled at the muse's flame. Now let's try to understand the meaning of a few new words. Applause is sound of claps, Senate is legislative assembly, despise is to hate. These are the meanings. Then we have forbade is not allowed, circumscribed is restricted within limits, wade is walk with difficulty, slaughter is to kill mercilessly, pangs are the emotional pains, ingenious is cleverly planned, shrine is a holy place, incense is some fragrant substance or fragrance stick, kindled is lighted, muse is goddess of poetry. Let's understand the meaning of the lines as they are. Look at these three stanzas as the sentence. There is no full stop. You find full stop at the end of the last stanza only. That's why we've taken these three stanzas together. Let's understand this. To command the roar of claps by the people in the Senate Hall, to hate the threats of pain and ruin, to distribute the riches among the people in the country and to their history in the national records, these people were not allowed, their lot forbade. They were restricted not only from progress, but their crimes were also restricted. They were not allowed to walk to the throne by killing people like animals, and to shut the doors of mercy on mankind. They were not allowed to bear the emotional pains one has to go through while hiding the truth. They were not allowed to hide the blushes of cleverly planned shame. They were also not allowed to prepare a heap of luxury and pride by sacrificing the basic principles of poetry. These three stanzas should be read together because they are the part of the same sentence, as I have already told you. They are connected by enjambment. Enjambment is a poetic device by means of which the poet continues the first line of the second line into third line and third into fourth, and likewise. This can also happen in case of stanzas. Okay, see these three stanzas, 16, 17 and 18. And this also, the last line of 16th stanza runs into the first line of the 17th stanza. Stanza 16 gives a complete sense when we come to the first line of the 17th stanza. It makes sense when reaches their lot forbade. That means of the people buried in the country churchyard. Forbade means restricted. They were restricted by poverty and ignorance. They were forbidden to command the senates. This may refer to Oliver Cromwell, who became popular among the senators because of his fiery speeches. They were forbidden to despise the threats of pain and ruin. This may also be interpreted as the reference to civil war. War created fear and threat. War means pain and ruin. But the Cromwell and allied parties did not care for the pain and ruin. They revolted against the king. They challenged the king and changed the history of monarchy in England. They established the Commonwealth state and became popular. They were forbidden to scatter plenty over a smiling land. Smiling land can be understood as England. This can be interpreted as giving many things to people of England and become popular in the history. Land can also refer to John Hampden's land. Hampden was a landowner and opposed Charles I for his tax policy. Thus the poet says that these people were forbidden by poverty and ignorance to become popular and create place in the history of the nation. as other popular people like Hampden, Milton and Cromwell did. However, poet brings another side of the coin to the middle. He says that they were forbidden from becoming historically popular figures, but it was not the only thing that has happened to them. Nor circumscribed alone, means they were not forbidden to poverty and ignorance only. However, poet brings another side of the coin to the middle. He says that they were forbidden from becoming historically popular, but it was not the only thing that has happened to them. See, nor circumscribed alone means they were not forbidden to only. Poverty and ignorance did not restrict their virtues only, but also confined their crimes. They were also not able to commit crimes like the other national figures. They were also forbidden to commit the sin of slaughtering people and walk to the throne. They were also not guilty of forgetting mercy and embracing cruelty. 17th stanza. Look at this. 17th stanza accordingly may be interpreted as about Milton. Poverty and ignorance did not allow these people to feel the pain of hiding the truth and signs of shame. They were not allowed to create the heap of luxury and pride by kindling the incense at Muse's flame. Incense kindled at Muse's flame means burning the Muse. The heap of luxury and pride was created by burning sacredness of the poetry. As Milton was also against King Charles I, these lines most probably refer to John Milton. These can also refer to many other poets too. But to be very precise, we can say that these lines are meant for these three people like Milton, Oliver Cromwell and John Hampden. Hope you have understood these three stanzas. Now let's understand them with the help of a few comprehension questions. Well, let's first of all begin with the first question. What are the things that country people were forbidden according to the poet? Okay, and you know that country people, according to the poet, were forbidden to command the senates or applause of senates, despise the threats of pain and ruin, and to scatter plenty over a land in order to read their history in the nation's eyes. Tell me, what were the poor country people restricted from according to the poet? According to poet, poor country people were restricted from becoming popular as well as from becoming cruel. What does the line "forbade to wade through slaughter to a throne" signify? The line "forbade to wade through slaughter to a throne" signifies the horror of civil war in which many people were killed, and the rebels walked to the throne of Charles I and imprisoned him. He was later beheaded in 1651, I suppose. I suppose 1651. Most probably, it refers to Oliver Cromwell's rule after civil war. What happens when poet tells lies? When poets try to tell lies, they have to hide the pains of hiding the truth, and they have to quench the blushes of the same. What does the line "incense kindled at Muse's flame" signify? To be precise, the line "incense kindled at Muse's flame" means using poetry for personal benefits. This is what he tries to say. The poet tries to tell us that though they were poor and ignorant and they couldn't achieve anything, but poet also tries to say that though they were poor and ignorant and couldn't achieve anything, they were also not the sinners like other peoples are. They had the human values. If you want to have the name and fame, you sacrifice certain human values for it, which these poor country people did not have to do. So both the things are there. There are two sides of the coin. That's what poet wants to say through these three stanzas. I hope you've understood. Let's talk about the next stanzas in the next video. Thanks for watching.